In a universe where love defies boundaries, human engineer Denny's life turns upside down when he meets the alien beauty Nira. Their unexpected connection leads to thrilling adventures, challenging their beliefs and identities. As they navigate a world of differences, they must confront profound ethical dilemmas. Is love worth sacrificing one's own essence for unity? If you dream of entering universes or planets where humans shine when they meet unknown races, subscribe, turn on notifications, and you will be happy every day with new wonderful sci-fi stories. Well, let's go. Amidst the serene hum of the Tungo Station, Denny reclined in his worn-out chair, the shimmer of distant stars reflecting in his wide, brown eyes. The station, a bustling hub of commerce perched between the orbits of several planets, was a sanctuary from the relentless chaos of Earth. Here, the ethereal glow of artificial lighting mingled with the faint echoes of alien languages, creating a symphony that soothed his weary soul. As he gazed out at the cosmos, a sense of tranquility enveloped him, a brief escape from the weight of the bureaucratic grind that often consumed him. The station buzzed with life. Traders from across the galaxy haggled for rare artifacts, and travelers exchanged tales of their adventures. The walls around him were adorned with artworks created by sentient beings he could hardly comprehend, each piece telling stories from distant worlds. The vibrant colors seemed to dance, reflecting the diversity of the galaxy, and for Denny, it was a reminder of why he accepted an engineering position at this isolated outpost, to witness cultures untainted by Earth's relentless routine. Suddenly, the calming silence of his contemplation was shattered. His communicator beeped, and a holographic image materialized before him with a shimmer of excitement. Nira, the enchanting Fawny alien from the planet Adar II. Nira possessed striking azure skin that sparkled like the night sky dotted with stars, her slender figure adorned with iridescent patterns that seemed to shift as she moved. Her large, expressive eyes beamed with a playful curiosity that drew him in as if she were a gravitational force of her own. A playful grin danced on her lips as she teased, "Are you daydreaming about the stars again, Denny? Or are you just trying to avoid work?" Denny chuckled, feeling a flutter of warmth ignite in his chest. "I could never avoid my duties, especially not with you around to keep me on my toes." He leaned forward, a spark of mischief igniting in his depths. "What cosmic trouble are you up to today?" Their banter flowed effortlessly, rich with curiosity, light-hearted jests, and genuine connection. Each word exchanged was a brushstroke on a canvas painted with burgeoning friendship, and Denny felt an unshakable pull towards Nira, a sensation that hinted at something much deeper than mere attraction. What began as friendly inquiries about engineering transformed into debates about philosophy, art, and the emotional landscape of their respective worlds. Nira, embodying the essence of the Fawny, a species known for their empathy and intuitive understanding, often shared stories of her planet where emotions resonated with the environment, shaping the landscapes. Denny, she once explained, her voice tinged with awe, "The mountains on Adar II pulse with our feelings. If we are joyful, they rise higher, if we are sorrowful, they bow low. It's remarkable how emotions intertwine with nature." Intrigued, Denny responded, "On Earth, we often feel disconnected from nature. But here, in this place that feels almost sacred, I can understand that connection." He gazed out at the stars reflecting on the vastness beyond comprehension, contemplating what it truly meant to feel everything so profoundly. Days melted into weeks, the friendship between Denny and Nira shifting as if they were caught in a gravitational dance. The tension nestled in Denny's heart grew as he tried to juggle his responsibilities while nurturing his blossoming feelings. As days melted into weeks, the friendship between Denny and Nira flourished, each moment filled with laughter and uncharted territory of feelings. Yet, beneath the surface, Denny grappled with a growing complexity in his heart. This wasn't just camaraderie. It was a bond that brushed against the edges of something profound and terrifying. Nira's visits to Tungo Station, initially fueled by pure curiosity about Earth and its inhabitants, began to blur the lines between academic interest and something deeply personal. On a particularly striking evening, the dual moons of the planet Glistara floated in the sky outside the observation deck. Their eerie glow cast fleeting shadows over Denny as he sat in his chair, staring at the sprawling cosmos, lost in thoughts of Nira. He felt a familiar warmth wash over him at the mere recollection of her radiant azure skin, flecked with patterns resembling constellations. She embodied the very essence of the universe, mysterious, complex, and profoundly beautiful. As if summoned by his thoughts, the holographic communicator flickered, projecting Nira's image into the small, cozy space. She stood there, her luminous features illuminated against the backdrop of the swirling stars. "Denny," she said, her voice softly echoing in the confined room, "may I join you? There's so much I want to discuss." "Of course," he replied, gesturing to the empty seat beside him. The air hummed with excitement and underlying tension as she settled in, their knees nearly touching. Nira exhaled, almost as if gathering courage before revealing her innermost feelings. "I want to understand you. You humans fascinate me. But I also want to experience you," she confessed, the playful lilt of her tone shifting to something earnest and raw. Denny's heart raced unbidden. "Experience me? Nira, this is more than I ever expected while working here. Can we really bridge the gap between our worlds?" His voice quavered, thick with the weight of uncertainty. With a determined gaze, Nira leaned closer, her enchanting azure skin shimmering under the deck's ambient glow. "I don't want to be just an observer, Denny. I want to know the essence of you," she declared, her voice rich with emotion and resolve. The air thickened with unspoken implications. Denny felt the exhilaration of their intimate moment clashing with a tightening knot of fear in his stomach. The enormity of what lay between them grappled for dominance. Could love truly transcend such vast interstellar divides? Keeping his eyes locked onto hers, he pondered the potential dangers of their connection, the ethical dimensions of their growing bond, the cultural boundaries yet to be crossed, the sacrifices they might have to make. "Are you brave enough to embrace this?" Denny finally asked, his voice a whisper laced with vulnerability. "There's so much at stake." Nira held his gaze unyieldingly, and a shiver of understanding passed between them. "The hardest path is often the most rewarding," she replied resolutely. "And I want you by my side." As the conversation flowed with waves of curiosity and trepidation, Denny was acutely aware of the swirling nebula beyond the station, the very fabric of the universe reflecting their doubts and dreams. Meanwhile, his mind raced with the implications that their bond might encompass. How would they navigate the social mores of their respective peoples? Would their love be accepted among humans and Fawny alike? Each question hung in the air, amplifying the gravity of what could be. The turning point surfaced when Nira shared a childhood story, one that threaded her kinship with the stars. "On my home planet, I learned early about the night sky," she began, her voice softened by nostalgia. "My mother used to tell me tales of the travelers who ventured too far from their worlds, forever seeking that which they could not touch." "That sounds lonely," Denny murmured, feeling a pang of empathy. "Like they were caught between worlds." Nira nodded, her expression grave. "Just like you and I. But unlike those lost travelers, I don't want to drift. I want to chart our course. I want to explore what it means to combine our worlds." Denny felt the air shift, as if the cosmos itself had synchronized with their desires. "Then let's take that leap," he said, determination radiating from his words. "Let's explore what this connection could mean. In this charged silence, their hearts pulsed in tandem, the uncharted territory of their emotions unwinding into a promising adventure. Days turned into restless nights. Each day brought more questions than answers, urging Denny and Nira to confront the harsh realities of their relationship. On one occasion, Nira clutched Denny's hand tightly as she whispered, "What if we face backlash? What if I'm forced to return home, leaving you behind?" Denny felt his heart constrict, conflicted by the potential repercussions both of them could face. "Nira, you're a citizen of two worlds. Isn't it a choice you should be able to make?" he pressed, searching for hope amidst the tumult. "It's not that simple," she replied, an ethereal sadness settling in her azure eyes. "My people have their own beliefs, their own traditions. What we have, it's unprecedented. I fear judgment. I fear losing you." For a moment, the weight of her fears echoed through Denny's mind, the ethics of their bond constricting him like a noose. Would their connection be a beacon of hope or a catalyst for division within their respective societies? The philosophical implications felt overwhelming, and his gut twisted with the enormity of the decision ahead. "Then we'll face whatever comes together. As partners, we'll learn from each other and grow, bringing our worlds closer rather than further apart," he assured her, squeezing her hand tightly, offering what little solace he could. Nira illuminated with a fragmented smile, hope flickering across her features, but the veil of anxiety never left her aura. The interactions between them held an electric promise, yet every encounter was tinged with uncertainty, delicate like the gaseous trails of stardust often seen in distant galaxies. Their days became an exploration of blended cultures. Denny introduced Nira to Earth's variety of food and music, while she showcased the nuances of Fawny culture, its rituals enriching their understanding of one another. They crafted a bridge of shared experiences, a delicate tapestry blooming from the seeds of their budding connection. One stark afternoon, while they meandered through the station's market, a melodious chaos surrounding them, they encountered a group of Earth settlers engaged in heated conversation. Voices rose, clashing like metal against metal, their words laced with thinly veiled animosity at the sight of an alien intermingling so closely with one of their own. The environment in Tungo Station was an interesting contradiction, a beautiful yet frantic microcosm of intergalactic life. Officially a transitory hub, the station buzzed with a kaleidoscope of species and cultures, each adding their unique hues to the tapestry of daily existence. Against the backdrop of intertwining conversations and vibrant exchanges was Denny, feeling intensity in its purest form as he stood before Nira. Underneath the brilliance of a fake aurora projected throughout the station, Denny felt the emotional dynamics between them shift palpably. The natural fluorescence of the lights reflected on Nira's azure skin, giving her an ethereal glow that left him mesmerized and unsettled all at once. She decided to strip away the playful facade that typically characterized their exchanges, replacing it with a raw vulnerability that gripped Denny's heart. "Nira," he murmured, uncertain, yet captivated by the earnestness in her large, shimmering eyes. "What's on your mind?" She inhaled deeply, as if the weight of the universe rested upon her fragile shoulders. "Denny, I've been hiding behind curiosity. But the truth is, I feel something genuine growing between us, and it terrifies me." Her voice trembled, betraying the poise she usually maintained. Denny's heart swelled with emotions he couldn't fully comprehend. Conflicting sentiments intertwined within him, excitement and trepidation wrestled for dominance. "You're not the only one feeling frightened. But what if we embrace this? What if navigating our differences offers us something unique?" He hoped his words would convey the earnestness that surged through him. Their eyes locked in a profound silence, an uncharted territory of emotions expanding between them. The chaotic clatter of the station faded into a dull hum, eclipsed by the gravity of their moment. The two of them stood at the edge of a precipice, peering into a void that promised uncertainty. "Then let's take that leap," Nira whispered, determination swirling in her voice. "Let's explore what this connection could mean." The mere utterance of those words ignited a fear that mingled with exhilaration. Could they truly venture beyond simple companionship? "Together, we can navigate this," Denny replied, no longer feeling the weight of the fear. With a renewed sense of purpose, they crossed the threshold between friendship and something far richer, an emotional territory filled with nuances that neither had anticipated. They promised each other they would confront their doubts together. Ambiguity transformed into adventure, uncertainty into shared experience. As they drifted amid the hustle of Tungo Station, Denny and Nira found themselves becoming unwilling witnesses to the intricacies and complexities of interspecies relationships that surrounded them. The central hub echoed with the sounds of negotiation, laughter, and the occasional bickering that characterized trade among various alien factions. Sitting together at a nearby modular table crafted from luminescent crystals, they noticed a group of traders haggling about the exchange rate for some rare minerals sourced from a distant galaxy. The distinctive colors of the minerals shimmered as the light refracted through the various containers, each shade telling a story of its own. It was all surreal, both beautiful and chaotic. "Do you think we could engage in trade one day?" Nira jested, her eyes twinkling with mischief. "Denny, our own sanctuary of wonders?" Denny chuckled, but a thought flickered through his mind. Was this what Nira truly envisioned? He gazed deeply into her captivating eyes, sensing that her depth surpassed mere academic curiosity, a longing to forge connections as meaningful and intricate as the traders' negotiations surrounding them. "We could learn from each other's worlds," he mused, a newfound gravity lifting his spirits. "And who knows? Maybe our partnership could innovate something entirely unfamiliar to either of us." A sudden shift gripped him, the realization hitting hard that they were developing something, an alliance that transcended their differences, while the world around them seemed to weave its stories silently in the background. They fell into a comfortable silence, letting the ethereal hues of the station feed their burgeoning intimacy. That evening, curiosity turned to exploration. They decided to navigate Tungo Station's lesser-known sectors, seeking out the hidden gems overlooked by impatient travelers. As they ventured further, they stumbled upon a section adorned with murals depicting Fawny rituals, the incredible artistry capturing the vibrant culture of Nira's home planet. Each stroke told a story of the Fawny people, their beliefs, and the Earth, woven together in a tapestry that reflected the bonds of empathy, family, and the universality of existence. "This," Nira breathed, awe resonating in her voice, "is not just a reflection of my culture. It signifies the connection to others, those we have yet to meet." Denny was captivated by her passion. The colors of the murals mirrored the tumultuous emotions surging within him. A wondrous yet chaotic mix of passion, fear, and bold hope. "What if we create something similar for our worlds? Merge our lives in a creative way?" Nira broke into a radiant smile, buoying both of their spirits. "You mean create a new tradition, blending Fawny and human elements?" "Exactly," Denny exclaimed. This proposed bond was beginning to feel monumental, far beyond mere affection. It was a creation of identity, a bridge between their worlds. And as they discussed what would shape this tradition, a mingling of human and Fawny customs, the stark realization dawned upon Denny. Would their worlds accept this union? The ethical intricacies lurked at the fringe of their budding relationship, threatening to emerge. Questions ignited within him about acceptance and belonging. Was it fair to impose his human customs onto hers, and vice versa? Feeling the weight of these thoughts pull him under, he voiced his concerns to Nira, who listened intently, showcasing the poise and strength inherent in her kind. "Every connection is complex, Denny. Our emotional bond will guide us through these decisions." Her assurance soothed his anxious thoughts. But if we're to create a union, shouldn't we also embrace the conflicts? There is beauty in finding resolutions, is there not? With that simple yet profound reasoning, Denny's trepidation began to wane. He sensed an inherent worth in their differences, an elemental force that would solidify their partnership as they marched forward, hand in hand, through a challenging landscape filled with uncertainty. Little did they know, however, their union and the journey that lay ahead would soon be tested by forces beyond their comprehension. The bustling energy of Tungo Station morphed into a brewing storm. Whispers of underlying tensions in the universe began to surface, discontent among the powerful factions that operated tacitly from the shadows of the station. Later that evening, as the fabricated aurora flickered outside, a sudden explosion ruptured through the lower levels of Tungo Station. The vibrant atmosphere of Tungo Station thrummed with energy as alien traders from distant galaxies filled the central hub, their voices a melodic mix of languages and laughter. Neon lights flickered above, casting shifting patterns on the polished metal floors. Denny stood by the large observation window, his gaze lost among the stars that twinkled like diamonds scattered over a vast velvet tapestry. Yet, despite the beauty outside, his thoughts were consumed by Nira. Nira, the enchanting Fawny, approached, her azure skin shimmering softly in the lights. Today, she wore a flowing garment woven from the exquisite silk of her home planet, adorned with subtle glimmers that mimicked the very stars Denny admired. The fabric cascaded around her, blending her ethereal beauty with the chaotic charm of the station. But even this splendor could not mask the seriousness in her eyes. "Denny," she began, her voice steady but laced with emotion, "there's something important I need to tell you." The bustling station faded into a distant hum as an invisible barrier encased them in a private universe, a world where only their feelings mattered. He turned to face her, heart racing. "What is it, Nira?" Taking a breath, she continued, "I came to Tungo to study your species, your technology, your culture. I thought I could observe from a distance, maintain my role as a researcher. But I have grown to care for you deeply. More than I ever intended." Her words hung in the air, fragile and beautiful. Denny felt a thrill and a pang of conflict. This was it. They were stepping into unknown territory. "I care for you too. You've ignited feelings in me that I didn't know existed." He hesitated, unsure of how to articulate the depth of what he felt. "But are we crossing a line that shouldn't be crossed? Our worlds are so different." "I know, and that frightens me. Our connection challenges everything we understand about love, identity, and belonging." Nira's voice softened, her gaze unwavering. "But we can't ignore what we feel. The universe is vast and unpredictable. Perhaps what we create can redefine those very boundaries." The notion settled heavily in Denny's mind, resonating with the conflict he hadn't yet acknowledged. "What about the consequences? What if others don't accept us?" He searched her eyes, hoping to find clarity in the midst of their emotional storm. "Every choice comes with risks," Nira replied, stepping closer, her resolve palpable. "But isn't it worth it? Love isn't merely a bond, it's an adventure, a leap into the unknown. And we're already taking that leap, whether we choose to acknowledge it or not." As Denny contemplated her words, the cacophony of the station became a distant murmur. He was acutely aware of the absurdity of their situation. A human and a Fawny, drawn together by an inexplicable force in a place where different species traded goods and stories. And yet, the connection they shared felt like a thread weaving them into something greater, a tapestry of resilience and courage. Standing in the midst of the alien chaos, Nira's words struck a chord deep within him. "Then let's embrace this, together," he declared, his voice steadying. "Let's explore the cosmos, our worlds entwined, facing whatever may come. Nira's eyes sparkled, echoing a promise forged in trust and bravery. They embraced, the warmth radiating between them, shielding them from the stares and whispers of those who passed by. This bond, mysterious and exhilarating, felt like a heartbeat shared across the universe, syncing their destinies in a dance of uncertainty and hope. Driven by newfound purpose, Denny and Nira began to delve deeper into both their worlds. They initiated a weekly gathering at the station, inviting beings from across galaxies to bridge cultures and ideas. The exchanges opened avenues for understanding, forging alliances that defied the conventions of their respective societies. The laughter, stories, and shared inventions transformed Tungo Station into a melting pot of cultures, where they nurtured the essence of their love, enlightening others along the way. Throughout their journey, Denny marveled at Nira's profound ability to connect with the various species that visited the station. Whether it was by understanding their quirks or embracing their traditions, she seamlessly soared between worlds, gently weaving narratives from her own to their lives. In her presence, Denny felt his own perspectives shifting, revealing shades of understanding he never realized he lacked. Yet, amid the camaraderie and joy, Denny's mind echoed with unease. They were ascending into a thrilling era of discovery, but shadows loomed. Ethical dilemmas surfaced. Each partnership forged in love and trust intertwined with the reality of prejudices and biases rooted deeply within both species. One day, an elder from a distant planet arrived at Tungo Station. Bearing the weight of age and wisdom in their colorful attire, they stood firm before Denny and Nira, eyeing them with a mix of judgment and intrigue. "You tread a dangerous path, humans and Fawny," they warned, their voice resonant with authority. Boundaries were drawn for a reason. Denny felt a chill grip his heart. "What do you mean?" he asked, though he suspected he knew the answer. The elder gestured grandly, indicating the diverse assembly that gathered for the cultural exchange. "Your love may inspire unity, but it can also breed discord. Our histories are marred by conflict, species intertwining only to shatter when faced with what they do not understand. Love is beautiful, but it can also tear worlds apart." Nira stood beside Denny, her brow furrowed in deep thought. "We aim to teach understanding and empathy. We wish to demonstrate that connection can bring worlds together rather than pull them apart." The elder nodded slowly, but skepticism lingered in their eyes. "Your intentions are noble, but noble intentions alone cannot quell the tide of fear. Cultures are delicate. A single misunderstanding can ignite war." As the elder departed, Denny's heart raced. The implications of their relationship and the potential backlash for challenging societal norms became terrifyingly clear. Could their love, a force meant to bridge worlds, also unravel them? Days morphed into weeks, and tension crackled in the air, washing over the station. Discontent simmered among alien communities, whispers of dissent growing louder as factions emerged. Those who rallied for tradition versus those who dared to envision a more united front. Denny and Nira found themselves increasingly burdened by the weight of their shared decision. Despite knowing that their connection fostered conversations that might lead toward acceptance, they could not shake off the dread that gnawed at the edges of their happiness. What if their love became a catalyst for something else, something dark? In the shadows of Tungo, a group of alien mercenaries began to gather. As the seasons twisted and turned on Tungo Station, every changing hue of the cosmos outside reflected the evolving bond between Denny and Nira. The once silent laughter had blossomed into a song, an unspoken melody of love and understanding that danced among the stars. Nira, having turned away from the beckoning call of her home planet, had chosen to forge a new path alongside Denny, a decision that reverberated through both their lives like the echo of a distant supernova. Together, they explored the engineering marvels of the station, which thrummed with life and stories of countless travelers. The hum of the engines became a backdrop to their hands clasped tightly, a bond growing ever stronger with each encounter and each innovative challenge they faced. Denny had taught Nira how to repair the engine core, blending human ingenuity with the Fawny nuances of energy manipulation, and their laughter often filled the sparks that flew during their experiments. Those moments, trivial to some, felt monumental to them. Every giggle shared thinner than the atmosphere of an uninhabitable world, yet weightier than the gravitational pull of the black holes they navigated around in their imaginative pursuits. One day, as they leaned against the framework of the observation deck, Denny looked to Nira, her azure skin glowing under the artificial lights. "What do you miss most about your planet?" he asked, genuinely curious. Nira paused, her gaze drifting to the swirling nebulae beyond the glass. "I miss the Undulon Blossom festivals," she mused, a wistful smile creeping onto her lips. "The way we would dance under the blooming stars, with colors lighting up the night. It was a celebration of life, an expression of joy." But she turned to face him, determination flickering in her eyes. "Maybe we can create something similar here." "Here? On Tungo Station?" Denny's brow furrowed. "How do we even begin to replicate that?" Intrigued yet skeptical, he watched her enthusiasm bubble forth, illuminating the space around them. Nira's smile widened, and just for a moment, Denny could see the ghostly image of the festivals in her eyes. "We'll start small. Each galaxy has its own customs, its own way of celebrating. We can merge them with human traditions, invent something new. A symbol of our love." Their discussions burgeoned into grand plans, an ambitious festival that intertwined the colors, sounds, and delights of both their cultures. Together, they summoned engineers, traders, and artists from all walks of life on the station. They created a tapestry that wove together music, food, and light, preparing for the grand event that would celebrate not only their connection but also the unity of all species aboard the station. As the festival day approached, excitement filled the air. The station thrummed with energy, preparations unfolding like the petals of the Undulon blossom Nira had described. Vendors set up stalls adorned with radiant fabrics and foods that tantalized the senses. Alien traders brought glimmering artifacts, each with the weight of stories cradled within their forms. Meanwhile, Nira and Denny had worked tirelessly to ensure that not only their traditions were shared but that the concept of unity resonated deep within every heart attending. "Are you ready for this?" Denny asked, his voice tinged with apprehension as the first guests began to trickle in. His hands fidgeted. The thought of unveiling their dream made the world feel simultaneously exhilarating and daunting. Nira stepped closer, her presence calming like the whispers of starlight. "We've poured our hearts into this. Just be yourself and allow the beauty of our connection to shine through." The festival opened under a broad, radiant sky, the lights from the station mingling beautifully with the colorful displays brought by different species. Alien musicians played melodies that blended with the rhythms of humanity, creating an unusual, yet harmonious score that played to a delicate cadence. Laughter rang out, and for Denny, the overwhelming joy overflowing from his heart mirrored the stars twinkling in the night. As the sun dipped below the horizon, casting golden rays across the gathering, Denny took Nira's hand, his eyes reflecting determination and commitment. "Let's showcase our first dance," he urged, a fire igniting within him. "Just like your festivals." Nira's face illuminated with excitement as they stepped into the center of the crowd. They began to dance, a fusion of Tuan, the Fawny traditional dance, and the human jive, twisting and turning in an expression of their unique bond. The crowd soon joined them, their diverse steps intertwining in a mesmerizing display of unity. It was electric, The joy radiating from each being filled the void that spoke of the differences they once feared. "You know," Denny said breathlessly as they turned in unison, the synergy of their movements sparking new energy between them. "This feels like magic." "It is magic," Nira replied, her words a quiet whisper beneath the laughter surrounding them. "It's more than dance. It's what we embody, an adventure across worlds, stitched together by threads of love." As the festival pulsated into the deep twilight, stories were exchanged between species, laughter echoed through the chamber, and Denny and Nira became symbols of hope, a new beginning for Tungo Station. Their efforts sparked curiosity, leading to an enriching exploration of shared customs and perspectives. Differences that once seemed insurmountable transformed into threads binding them closer together. But amidst the revelry, a foreboding shadow loomed. A chilling whisper echoed through the bustling crowd, warning of storms brewing in the outskirts of space, an indication of potential conflict arising from entities distrustful of interspecies mingling. Denny felt a sudden chill break through the warmth of the atmosphere. "Did you hear that?" he asked, leaning closer to Nira as whispers of dissent buzzed in the corners of the festival. The revelation became a ghost that trailed them, hinting at complications that could fracture the fragile unity they had built. Nira's expression shifted, alert but not terrified. "We have to stay strong, Denny. These fears only highlight how important our connection truly is." The festival continued, but an undeniable tension began to weave itself into the fabric of their celebration. The idea of two galaxies intertwined became a provocative notion for some, manifesting doubts that hovered uncomfortably at the edges of their union. Would the bond they forged withstand the pressures of those who could not fathom a love transcending worlds? Standing hand in hand, they gazed into the starlit void, worries about their future brewing like dark clouds against the vibrant backdrop of their festival. The nights that followed were filled with moments of joy, but also stewed with an undercurrent of caution, a reminder that life among the stars was anything but predictable. Collectively, they became a beacon, a symbol. Denny turned to Nira, whispering, "I know we're facing challenges, but together we can face anything the cosmos throws our way. Let's keep creating spaces where love thrives," Nira encouraged, her eyes burning with determination. "Each celebration, each laugh, each moment matters, and we must hold on to them fiercely." As the festival drew to a close, exchanges of warmth and kindness still intertwined in the hearts of individuals from all walks of life. The echoes of their celebration would pierce through the darkness looming around them, igniting sparks of hope that could illuminate the darkest nights. As the story closes here, ponder upon the threads we weave between worlds. If you liked this story based on real events, subscribe to our channel and don't forget to like it. Here you can dive into a different reality every day, where anything can happen. Comment below what kind of story you would like to hear here. Thank you very much for your attention. We are the Sci-Fi family.